Hi, I'm back with the 6 books in isolation. And first of all, this is a new book, only came out this year, so there's going to be absolutely no spoilers. Or just, I won't spoil the ending. Literally, my notes only went so far because I didn't want to spoil this book that only came out this year. It's not fair to the author. And secondly, I actually met the author, Virginia Heath. She did an event at the Barney Ricep just after Christmas. And I met her. She's lovely, and she actually read part of this book, and she actually is a Mills and Boon writer. I never actually covered part of the 40 years of Mills and Boon, any of her books. I may do a bonus one, but I love this. It isn't with Mills and Boon, it's with Headline Eternal as the publisher. Okay, but right now there's a big kind of like surge in Regency dramas, the Bridgerton effect, if you will, and this is kind of like not compared to Bridgerton, okay, or Pride and Prejudice or Austen. This is set in 1825. Now, I loved this book, okay, and the thing is, when I met Virginia, she talked about it's very much based on Oscar Wilde. It's a comedy of misunderstandings. This is a situation where one character lies or creates a fictional fiance, and then it all kind of spirals from there. And I just read this thinking, honey, Oscar Wilde would be proud of this, okay? And by the way, I'd kill for this to be a film, TV show maybe, okay? Because it's kind of like a trilogy as well, okay? It's two. The trouble with lies is that they have a tendency to catch a man out. Sounds so Austen, that, doesn't it? The last thing Hugh Standish, Earl of Fareham, wants is a wife, but since the only way to keep his mother's matchmaking ways at bay is the promise of an impending nuptials, Hugh takes the most logical action. He invents a fake fiancée. It's a perfect plan. Well, until Hugh learns that his mother is on a ship bound for England to meet his beloved. He needs a solution fast, and when he collides with a mysterious beauty, he might just found the answer to his prayers. Minerva Merriwell is desperate for money to support her sisters, and although she knows that posing as the Earl's fiancée may seem nonsensical, it's just too good an offer to refuse. As the Merriwells descend upon Hugh's estate, the household is thrown into turmoil, and everyone tries to keep the tangled story straight. And with Hugh and Minerva's romantic ruse turn into the real thing, is true love just one complication too many? Okay, so Hugh for 2 years, his mother's been in America, she remarried after his father's death, and so she lives overseas, and she's been on at Hugh because Hugh's an only child. Okay, so she's been on at him, come on, you need to settle down, you need to give me grandbabies, come on, I want grandbabies. So he has this fake fiance, and he picks the name Minerva. First of all, a beautiful name, it's a very classical name, but it's not what you call a common name, okay, you know. It's not a common name. So he invents Minerva, and through his writings, Minerva's been sick. Minerva almost died, by the way. In this fiction he created, Minerva almost died, but he nursed her back to health, basically trying to really big himself up. Okay. Oh, my dear mama, okay. Please forgive us later for being so late, but my dear beloved Minerva was ill with tuberculosis and was stricken with fever whilst I nursed her back to health and mopped her fevered brow. Yeah, and then his mum's coming over to meet his fake fiance. He's screwed. Sorry. Okay. Right. Here we go. He wish he killed off Minerva long ago, exactly as Giles, his best mate by the way, has said. His fake fiance was only meant to be temporary, a way to steal his mother, avoid falling out with her and hurting her feelings yet again, and he gave himself some time off. He hated arguments more than he hated introspection, and he hated disappointing people, and particularly hated hurting people, especially his mother. Okay, yeah, so I met a fake fiance, okay, and then Minerva, the real Minerva, she is she designs wood prints by trade. Basically, some guy's trying to rip it off. He's gone to his door to get some money. He's refusing, and so Giles, because he's a lord, okay, so he's an earl. Sorry, part of the gentry. Right now he's currently in London, and he meets her on while she's arguing on the guy's doorstep. He's like, well, "Excuse me, madame, can I step in?" And it turns out, yeah, get the money, it's all sorted, and then it turns out her name is Minerva. That's it. Right. And so he was like, oh my god, your name actually is Minerva. He could just hire someone to actually be called Minerva, okay? Or just, it's okay, you do not call Minerva. Or maybe like, okay, whatever. Okay, so, but anyway. Alright. Alright. And straight away, Minerva, real one, is kind of like, what? You go, what happened to the real Minerva? She hoped her expression appeared understandably suspicious rather than pained, and she tried to ignore the frigid slush seeping into her shoes. It wasn't every day a peer of the realm offered to pose, so he paid you to pose as his fiancée for an entire month at his grand estate in Hampshire. In fact, it was a bizarre request. Only an idiot would be wearing such a position, and Minna was no idiot. She was less wary than Comtesse dictated, however, because he had offered her £20 on her troubles, 20 whole pounds a king's ransom. I forgot to check. I'm going to find out how much it actually is in 1825 and put a thing under. And then the money actually goes up, by the way. So, but it's a lot of money. Okay, so a lot of money. But the thing is, Minerva is not alone. She has sisters. She has Diana and V, short for Venus. So the fact is, he has to go to his estate in Hampshire, okay, with her sisters. So basically, Hugh's got to turn into a lady by the time his mother shows up. Many of her sisters, okay, just aren't having it because, I'll be honest, they're both really brattish. Okay, Danasty's a bit more level-headed, okay, but they're both awful. You know when it's the whole kind of, are you here to basically steal my sister's virtue? Are you here to this? And it's kind of like they're in such dire straits. They have no money, are trying just to make a living, and it's the whole kind of, they just throw some serious shade at Hugh, and I'm like, yeah, the situation is, please, this is unheard of. But it's the whole kind of, okay, I found it time to go, this would be really nasty. I get what Virginia Heath was trying to do with kind of like make him, forthright and independent and stubborn and actually great virtues, but at times it was too much. Okay, as all right, right, right. And the thing is, Minerva, when she gets there, she's got such a confidence in her own beauty or her own intelligence, and the fact is, Hugh's starting to fall. He's starting to fall hard, right? Mm-hmm. You know about you, Miss Merriwell, a certain something that makes you stand out from the crowd. I do, indeed. In fact, you're the exactly sort of woman I would want a real fiancé to be like if I had a mind to have a real fiancé. Alarmingly, the clarification seems to be more for him than her. The fundamentals are there. This is merely window dressing. Window dressing is easily achieved. The seamstress coming first thing in the morning, and I've meticulously planned the next few days to ensure not only you but also your sisters are fully prepared. Yeah. Oh yeah. So Hugh hires this woman. She hires this actress to pretend to be the mother because obviously three women in a house by themselves with no chaperone is such a scandal. So he hires an actress, okay, to step in as the mother. The father's run off. The mother is dead. So he hires me, and it's sort of thing, okay, with the kids. They don't want to have this mother figure enough. Or sort of actually pretending to be the mother. And um, this is where, okay, the normally in a story like this, the sisters would start to look, okay, as this woman pretending to be the actress, okay, as kind of like seeing more like a mother figure. It doesn't happen. This is a pure Oscar Wilde and the pause of being earnest comedy of errors. Everything that can go wrong does go wrong. Okay, he hires the wrong people. The plan was originally for turn Minerva into a lady. Okay, then Giles would come down. Giles, his best friend, okay? Giles, who would basically seduce Minerva, and then they'd run away together. Having two sisters is now the complication. Now, also having the mum is a complication. Then, someone else's mum turns up, okay? And it gets to a point, okay, where in his own house, many of his sisters are treating him really poorly with everything they say. They're not that they've been grateful, but the fact is, okay, they're obnoxious. They're actually being rude to staff as well. Staff are trying to teach him, but they're like so dismissive, and he actually calls them out on it. Okay, right, right. This is about V. Right, right. Oh, be reasonable. She's a child. She's taking up far too much of everyone's time, especially yours. When I agreed you could bring sisters to Hampshire, you made no mention of the fact that she's so young. Was my irritating too harsh? Needy? She's 17. She can't even master cut for pity's sake. It's V I'm getting rid of. She's always spoiling everything and cannot continue. Okay? Basically, all her life, last couple of years, Minerva's been indulgent V because she's the youngest to be in the family. She sees her father in a positive light because she doesn't remember what an arse her father truly was. And I liked Hugh, okay? He's not going to have to be walked over, okay? He stood there, if your sister don't shape up, It's not just about me showing disrespect to, but when a servant spends so much time teaching them something and then they pick it up, it's disrespectful to the servant. And I like that. Also, one thing about it is this game, Hugh is trying to be, his father was not particularly the most greatest person in human history. And Hugh's got this thing, okay, I'm going to be a rake, okay, I'm going to be a dandy, I'm going to be the seducer with the money and the gambling and that kind of. He's not. At his core, he is a fundamentally a really, really nice guy. He's like he's playing this role due to the fact, okay, he's what his father did or what he thought his father did mentally kind of screwed him up a bit. And I like that. I like the fact, okay, he has so much nuance. He doesn't particularly like what he did. You know, I made a fake fiance to get his mother off his back. But the fact is, okay, he doesn't want to break his mother's heart, so he hires Minerva. Right. Right, this bit here. Do I think he had inherited from his wayward ancestors with his blasted conscience a great burden that has certainly never played either his father or his grandfather, and very nearly a great grandfather before that. Therefore, Hugh flirted shamelessly with certain women, and they flirted back shamelessly back. Okay, Hugh flirted shamelessly with certain women, and then they flirted shamelessly back. Sorry, that was a long sentence. It wasn't courting; it was a dance. One both parties knew it would end in a bedroom, but would never stray further than that. When I told you I wasn't the main kind, I meant it. I'm fairly certain I'm not capable of falling in love, and I'll compete at any rate. And suddenly, because of her, that flaw depressed him. Yeah, he's got this fear, okay, of I'm never going to fall in love, I'm never going to get married, I'm going to make this fake fiance. But he kind of realizes that suddenly, with his house suddenly full with people and Christmas, he realizes it's actually really, really lonely, and he's kind of tired of this role of being the rake. Okay, he's tired of it all. And he actually just fallen in love with Minerva, and then that sets more complications as well because his mum's still coming over, and then it also leads from there, and his mum just takes control. I really, really enjoyed this book. I could see this as a perfect film, TV show, like a little four-part series. Okay, expand it on a little bit more, okay, with the sisters. But I thought it was really, really good. Now, one thing I loved is Virginia got her start as a Mills and Moon writer, and this is kind of like very much like a Mills and Moon writer moving on. So I love this book, and actually I might try to get hold of, the other Mills and Moon products finishing. I might do a bonus Virginia Heath, therefore for your Mills and Boone, just to compare and contrast. But I liked the writing style. I liked the flow. It was kind of like a combination. I mentioned this before of an Oscar Wilde comedy of errors. Okay, but also with the sisters having Greek themed names and Venus, Diana, and Minerva, a Greek tragedy as well. Okay, so it was very, very clever, and I really, really enjoyed it. Okay, one bit at the end actually I didn't like, but I'm not going to spoil it. I want you to read it. I want you to enjoy it. Virginia Heath, Never Fall for Your Fiancé. You're going to love this one. If you're a fan of historical romance novels with a bit of a disaster dominoes twist, this is the one. And it caught me biased because I met the author and she's lovely. Yes, I'm biased. It's my young YouTube channel. Take care, everyone. 6 years of isolation. Sign off here. Bye now.